piece is to think about the business potential and sort of and getting that across and being infectious about the potential. One of the slides that I suggest is slide 5 is the idea of market validation. Validate the space that you're in. You could, on this chart, you could describe the key trends that make now the right time to be in this marketplace. What market do you even operate in? Can you define that clearly? And the opportunity in terms of both size and time. One of the classic management models is this idea of TAM, SAM, SOM, like this big number, the total possible demand for your product, a total available market or total addressable. The SAM is the segmented addressable market, and then the SOM, the share of the market that you think you can go get. So, sort of all people in the USA, there's this many small towns. I think I can get, sort of 10% of the small towns in Connecticut. And you've sort of taken it down, but you've shown that as you grow, you could grow into the SAM and the TAM. And it gets people thinking that's how big their business is. The second part of this on the business potential is clearly the business model. Like how are you designed to be sustainable? And I would say this to nonprofits as much as I say this to for-profits. Everyone needs to show sustainability. What's the flow of money? Who pays you for what? How does the money move? I do this as a completely blank slide for you because you are so varied in your ideas. Often this starts with founders or co-founders like sitting there with a whiteboard and saying like where does the money move? How do we get paid for this? What happens next? And you sort of, it might start as this complete sort of conceptual sketch and then get it into sort of a chart and a slide that you can then communicate to whoever you want to communicate with. This is how we are going to be sustainable. This is the model. And then from there is this going to market. Like how are you going to reach your target customers? What is the way to go to market? You might, if you're sort of a direct to consumer venture, or even business to business, so the marketing might be absolutely vital to what you do. So you might have a marketing plan that is 20 slides long. That's okay. It's just this is the one slide summary of that marketing plan. It's like how are you going to be famous where you need to be famous? Could be PR focused, could be content marketing led, could be advertising, whatever it is. And I really quite like this phrase from Seth Godin here about like what makes your product or service remarkable, as in able to be remarked upon. How are you going to travel? How are you going to get famous?